Hello, this is Paolo from Code.Sydney, and today I wanted to walk you through how we manage version control with branches, issues, and pull requests on GitHub. Everything here is listed on this Code.Sydney playbook. We'll link the playbook to the video description so you can check it out later. As all of our projects are volunteer only, we need a way to be able to manage and track code changes cleanly, even if we aren't working in the same place or at the same time. And GitHub works very well for this. So, to start, every feature that we will want to work on should have a corresponding GitHub issue. So, for this demo, I'm just going to create a dummy GitHub issue here. But basically, GitHub issues are like task managers. So, start out, either you or your project lead will create a GitHub issue explaining what the problem is and what you need to do. One thing is that you will need to link this to our project board, like so. I'll get to the project board in a bit later. But for now, let's just do a test for demo. Change one line in README for demo purposes. So pretty easy, but sometimes obviously you will have more detailed specifications here of what you actually would want to do. You can also assign issues, and for this one I can assign it to myself. Sometimes it'll just be blank and it'll be up to your project team to decide how the assignment will come. So now let's submit a new issue. Once the issue is ready, you can now go into your IDE and your terminal. So the first thing you'll want to do is just make sure that your branch is on the main branch. And you can see on my terminal, I've installed an extension to allow for this. You can look that up if you want. I might link it in the description as well. But one way to check is just going git branch and just seeing that you are on the main branch like so. If you aren't on the main branch yet, you can just do a git checkout main and you should end up there. Now, the first thing you'll want to do is actually do a git pull and just make sure that your local branch is up to date with the main branch. Mine is up to date, so that's all good. And now the first thing you will want to do before making any changes is to check out into your own feature branch. You can do this by going git checkout b and then name your branch. I'll just name it test for demo, like so. You need to actually keep this without spaces. So sometimes I'll just name it after the issue. But ultimately, it's up to you. Just make it really easy to read and understand for someone else. So once you've done that, you're now in your feature branch. You can now start writing code. One thing that you'll want to try and keep in mind is to make sure that changes in your code are relevant to the issue and the issue only. So that means that if you find a bug or something that you want to work on later as you're doing this, just hold off on the changes first. What you can do is file a GitHub issue and then you can work on it later on. This lets this branch just be focused on the feature that you are working on, instead of having a branch that might have all of these other features that will make it really difficult to debug and read later on. So for this one, the changes are quite simple. Just for demo purposes, I just want to add a line here like so. And now I am happy with my code. One thing you have to make sure, and I always keep forgetting to save before you actually do anything else. So just save all of your changes. Once you're happy with that, it's time to create a pull request. You can go git add dot. That will add everything in your to your GitHub, and then git status. You can see that your changes are ready to be committed. You can do a git commit m and then put in what you want as a commit message. I like just putting in the issue name and number. Like so, I just copy paste it, and that makes it really, really easy to just track later on. And now I want to do a git push. You'll see that Git is smart enough to let us know that we'll probably want to push into our remote branch. So let's do that now. And then you'll see that we're given a URL. This URL actually lets us create a pull request. So we are now testing for demo number 10. That's the title of our pull request. Now you're at the pull request, and you'll see that the title is the same as what you put in your commit message. I just like to keep that consistent so that everything's easy to track and easy to read. The first thing you'll want to do is actually just fill out this template. And this is just to allow us to have some consistency as to what we need from a pull request. So typically, what does this pull request do? Advice for reviewers and testing notes. So I'll just say here that this is a demo for our Code.Sydney YouTube channel. And I can just clear this because I don't really have any advice for reviewers or testing notes. This one is pretty important because it allows you to automatically link the pull request to the issue. So if you just say here it fixes issue 10, you'll see later on what this does. One other thing is that you will want to, again, link this to your GitHub project board. We'll open up the project board later so you see ultimately what happens there. And then let's add a reviewer. So we have Engramar here as a reviewer. So we'll just add him as well. And let's create a pull request. All right. So let's first go to our playbook project board so you can see what's been happening here. You'll see that the pull request that we opened is actually now in progress. And you'll see that the issue that we are working on has a linked pull request. So all of this was done automatically because we did those extra steps earlier. Obviously, you can manually do this yourself, but what's the use if the automation exists, right? So now we will wait for Engramar to approve this. I do have merge permissions, so maybe we can just do this as the demo. But basically what will happen is the reviewer will either approve or request some changes. You can use this chat box here to actually communicate with each other, and it'll just act like a message board. Pretty nice. You can reply to things as well. You can quote reply. You can tag each other. It's pretty nifty that way. At least this keeps the communications just focused on this pull request. And once it's approved, you will actually now be able to merge the pull request. So I'm going to do that now. Confirm merge. And then you can delete your feature branch online because this is now merged into main. And if you actually go back to your local IDE, you can, in your local terminal, you can do a git checkout to main. You'll notice here that the change we did was to add a line to make this 29 instead of 28. You'll see that on main, it's now back to 28. The reason is our main is now not up to date because on the remote GitHub, the remote repository, we have merged our latest commit. So let's do a git pull. And this is important. Whenever someone merges into your online main repository or online main branch, you need to do a git pull afterwards. And so here you'll see that everything is now up to date. And that's pretty much the conclusion of our GitHub process. So if you go back to our project board here, you'll see that it was actually already moved to done automatically because the pull request has been moved to done or has been merged already. And you will also see that issue number 10, the issue itself, has been moved to done as well. And it is also now closed. So those are all the automations that we have already built into our repositories. If you have any questions about this process, feel free to leave a comment on YouTube or let us know on Slack. Thanks very much and hope you have a good day. Bye.